All right, section 7.1, simplifying algebraic expressions. Here are vocab words that you'll need to pause your video and write down. So what we're doing in this section is actually you've already covered, you should have already covered in 6th and 7th grade. Shouldn't be anything extremely new to you. Obviously this chapter will get into new stuff, but chapter 7 is getting into algebra again, so we're not in geometry. This is going over algebra. Okay, so number 1 and 2, we're going to look at combining like terms. So I'll give you a second to write down those questions. Okay, so on number 1, both of those terms have an x, so those are like terms. So what you're going to look at is that number in front, which is called the coefficient, and you are going to follow what the signs say. So 7 plus 2 would be 9. So our answer for number 1 would be 9x. And we're going to do the same thing on number 2. So they're both a's. So we're going to follow the coefficients in front. So 14 minus 5 would be a 9a. Okay, so number 3 is a little longer. Okay, so what we're going to do with this problem is we are going to look at the m squareds, and we're going to combine them first. So 5m squared, and then you're going to always follow the sign to the left. So there's nothing to the left of 5, but really there would be a plus sign. So positive 5m squared minus 3m squared would be a 2m squared. And then I'm just going to carry down everything else that I have. So minus 2m plus 8 plus 6. Okay, so now look at your minus 2m. Is there anything to combine with that? No, I have nothing that I can put with that. So then my last part would be that positive 8 plus 6. And I would get a plus 14. And that's all I can do with that problem. Okay, number 4. Okay, so I'm going to work left to right again, and I'm going to combine my 7y squared with my minus 3y squared. And what would that give me? 4y squared. So 4y squared plus 8 minus 1 plus y. Okay, so the next thing that I would personally do to keep them in order is that I would put that y right after the 4y squared. Doesn't make it wrong if you don't have it like that, but In algebra, we're gonna try to put everything in exponential order is what it's called. So we would always go like y squared and then y and then our numbers. So there's nothing else to combine the y with, but I'm gonna move it and I'm going to put it right after that y squared. Okay, and then the last thing I need to do is combine my positive 8 minus 1. So I would end up with 7. So 4y squared plus y plus 7. Okay, number 5. What looks different about number 5? Yeah, there's 2 different variables, so that is different. I would start with my variable that has the biggest exponent. That's what I would start with. So I would go ahead and combine this middle part. So positive 3n squared minus 2n squared. So it would be 1n squared. And then I would rewrite what I have left. So plus 1k plus 4k. And then I need to combine my k's. So 1n squared plus 5k. Okay, so the last thing is I don't actually have to have this 1 in front of the n squared. It's not wrong if you have it, but you don't have to have it. Once you get into Algebra 1, you won't really ever write it anymore. And generally by the end of 8th grade, you won't write it anymore, but you can drop that off and just have it n squared plus 5k. So this isn't wrong to have it. It's just not necessary to have it. Okay, I would like you to try number 6. Okay, so I would start personally with my 5t squared. So 5t squared minus 2 squared, minus 2t squared would be 3t squared, and then I would have left plus 7p minus 3p, and then when you combine that together, you would end up getting plus 4p. So 3t squared plus 4p should be your answer. Okay, number 7. What's going on here with number 7?
Nothing.
You can't combine anything. There's no like terms. So that's what we're going to write. We're just going to write no like terms. So that means that it's already simplified. There's nothing more we can do. Okay, the next thing we're gonna look at is the distributive property. So for numbers 8 and 9, we are using the distributive property. Okay, so when we use the distributive property, what we're doing is we are distributing that number in front to the entire set of parentheses. So you have to make sure you're distributing it to both parts in the parentheses, not just one. So starting off on number 8, I have to distribute this 6 to both parts. And what does distribute mean? What are you actually doing? Multiplying. So 6 times y is 6y. And then I have to take 6 times 8, which is 48. And then I'm going to carry down this minus 5y. So the next step I would have would just be to combine my like terms. So what am I going to have left? 1y plus 48. And then again, I don't have to have that 1. So I can just have y plus 48. Okay, so number 9, we're going to go about that same process. We're going to distribute this 6. So 6 to the 5 and 6 to the n. So 6 times 5 is 30. And then 6 times n, so plus 6n, and then minus 2n. So I would go through right now, and I would take care of my n's first. So 6n minus 2n is 4n, and then I have 30 left. What sign goes with 30? A plus. So plus 30. If you had it the other way and had 30 plus 4n, that's not wrong either. So either one would be okay. Okay, so for your homework assignment, you have a textbook page, page 302.